Okay, yeah, just share your pobs. Jason's first. If some of your shit's really good though, I might not say much. Okay, this is bad enough that I can probably give some advice. Why is your damage so low? What the fuck? Oh, you're not low life yet. His thing is funny, but I don't know if I could pull that off. He's quite I don't know if I can be that mean. Um how much money do you have? If I were you, I would get rid of this and get a blue nightmare and then put lightning res in this area. And it's gonna cap your block. You're gonna be like way over capped. You could drop you could probably even draw Tempest Shield at this point. 5 gifts is sub to review pop. That's what I normally do donation, but today I don't mind. So we'll just do pop reviews just in general. Because I don't really want to play the game. Yeah, blue nightmare tech is gonna save you some skill points. You're gonna get a ton of lightning res, so you're gonna be able to hopefully drop some res on your gear for chaos res, because you want to swap over to petrified blood probably. Also, do you have the upgraded body armor? You do. Why is your damage so low? It's on Vol Spark. It needs to be on Spark. You actually have 2.6. So your mana cost can't be 0. If your mana cost is 0, you don't get inspiration charges. So your damage is actually where's inspiration charges? I don't see where that is, but inspiration charges is a lot. Oh, here. This should be 0. So you're cutting away like 20% of your damage by having a mana cost of 0 on Spark. That's what I would do. Alright, I'm gonna look at Storm Raider now. And we'll go to Little Love afterwards. This is some interesting pathing over here. Because it's to balance your strength and holy fuck, your damage is high. What the hell's going on here? Dude, you don't need help. um Wait, why do you have paid attunement there? You have to program this in for it to work? Interesting. Okay, makes sense. Well, I don't know what to say. You're clearly, your build's great. I don't think you need any advice. You know what you're doing. That's good though. This is nice. How are you getting so much damage? It's a good jewel. Holy shit, that's a good jewel. Your cast rate is super high. Yeah, these are some really good gloves. I think my mod Selma Fudd made similar gloves to this last league. This is crazy damage here. Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I recognize these Selma patented gloves. They're really good. I should be using them myself on Spark, honestly. Love these gloves. Very cool. This is what happens, guys, if you use the Discord channel. You get people in there who have really good tech. You get crazy advice in there. Yeah. These gloves are disgusting. Look at that. 50% cast speed. 50% increased damage. 43% increased damage. 26% increased damage. This is just crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say. This is really good. Let's look at Little Love. Profane one in there wouldn't make a drop. So let's see. We are doing the Blue Nightmare tech. Very good. This damage is quite low. You didn't calibrate this. Little Love. It really helps to just to even understand your own build by calibrating this. So if I were you, I would go into my videos and just open the POBs themselves to look at how I calibrate so you can figure out how to calibrate yours. Because if you don't calibrate it, really, like, none of this shit means anything. So I'll calibrate this for you, but that means I'm not going to have as much time to give you advice. This really, you should have done this yourself. So my advice is just going to be giving you back a calibrated bob. If you're not crit capped, you could go for power charge in here. I don't think, do you get power charges somewhere? I'm assuming no. It looks like you're probably not crit capped. Do you have onslaught? You don't have onslaught. Wait, is there onslaught on the tree? Yeah, you do. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna calibrate this for you, and then you can I don't know. You'll at least have a calibrated POB to work off. Do you have a nerve on the gloves? You do. Are you? We'll just check adrenaline. Wait, what? Why is that? That's just automatically checked. Enemy should be pinnacle. 86 crit chance. That's not the worst in the world. Mana cost is higher than mana regen. Yeah, that you gotta fix that shit. Here it looks like mana cost is also higher than mana regen. Little love. When you hold down Spark, does it ever deplete your mana? If you go back to Alira, you won't have mana issues. Maybe you have to go back to Alira. Or maybe you can do some small tattoos. You probably get 2 small tattoos. For the 3 mana regen, right? You have enough int to put them on. Like just put 3 flat mana regen, 3 flat mana regen, and that's gonna fix it. Okay, this is configured. Please save that, and when you make upgrades, import into this so that you at least have the config right. Because if you don't have this config, your POB is useless. You won't learn anything from it. All right, now on to DAS balls. You're welcome. All right. Okay, this is config. Nice, nice. Love to see it. So what are you doing? Well, your mana cost is real high. What is going on here? You probably want to invest in a Divergent Inspiration. Because there's going to be map mods that make your mana bad, right? So you're going from 133 mana cost per second down to 100. That's a pretty, what is that, like 25% less mana cost for 1 gem? Yeah, anybody can link their pub right now. Yeah, he has lots of mana regen. I think he has overkill mana regen. He's getting some in tattoos and stuff. But this is just going to be such a good quality of life, because just realistically speaking, I mean, even 35 is too much in my opinion. You could lower that even more. Like here, 10% more reduced. Now it's down to 28. That's just 1 skill point. Is there anything you can take off for that? Maybe not. Unreserved mana 200. If you got 200 unreserved mana, you can take this off. I'd rather have a lower mana cost. Like you don't even need this, do you? The mana. Oh, but you want to take this next, actually. I don't know. What did I take off down here? I took off the mana reservation efficiency. Put that over here. Then your spell block capped. This looks pretty good though. I like what you're doing here. You're higher level than me right now, aren't you? What are you doing that I'm not doing? It's a really good cluster. Well, you have a little bit of extra int, right? You could switch this to whatever you want. Oh, your fire res and lightning res are really overcapped. Why? You don't need that to be overcapped. You'd never need both of these to be overcapped. Like if you're doing blue altars, you'd want cold and lightning, and if you're doing the other one, you'd want chaos and fire. There's no reason to ever have both of those overcapped. Nice for the sub Unifer. So I guess obviously, Das Balls, you want to try and fix your rare gear to have more chaos res and less of this elemental res. And remember, you can always use harvest to change. You can always use harvest to change resistance types. So just like take off whatever gear you can in order to get more chaos res. And for everyone in chat who's doing this, you can do change lightning to fire, change fire to cold, change cold to lightning. You can get any 2 res you want on something that has 2 different resistances by swapping stuff around. So like there's really no excuse to have all this extra res here with low chaos res, because low chaos res, when you do petrified blood, you're gonna be dying all the time. Because chaos dots are gonna do a lot of damage because you're low chaos res, and they do double damage because you're on petrified blood. Yeah, you can also farm res from actual as like a min-maxi type thing. You're right. So like, for example, here there's no... You're crafting on cold res because you need it, but you could have just done fire to cold, and then you could have crafted on some chaos res. Although ideally, like crafting on chaos res only gives you 15. You really want to get a roll on the item, because then you can get up to like 35, I think. Chaos res is too low. I think everything else looks fine though. Your damage is okay. Like clearly you can also scale it, as you can see in my spark character has more, but I would worry about the other things first. Who's next? If I skip someone, let me know. I think it's I Trick the Pirate. I don't know. If one of you guys gets skipped, just let me know. Okay. So you have quite a lot of damage. By the way, guys, can configure your POB. Don't send me a unconfigured POB, or else I'm not going to give you much advice. I'm just going to configure it. And I might not even configure it if you guys keep sending me that. So what's going on here? Like this mana shit's all fucked up. Right, this is saying you don't have enough mana to cast your spell. I think you have an aura that's turned off, don't you? You're running all of these? Maybe Defiance Banner's turned off. Wait, what's that? Unreserved mana 130. Well, I'm just gonna have to guess at what is turned off. Is it this? Is Herald of Ice turned off? Oh, these things don't show? Alright, fair enough. Oh, none of your tattoos are showing. I don't think you imported this correctly. How did you make this? Did you copy this from Po Ninja? Don't use Po Ninja. Import it through this. If you import it properly, it's going to give you your tattoos. I'm just going to move on to the next person. You can re-import it, okay? Okay, we're on to Unifer 1. His wand and chest crafts failed. Is that what you're saying? What is happening here? This looks good. You have good damage. You have a good tree. The wand is fine. This is a really good wand. You don't need to make like a perfect wand. This is more than adequate. Body armor. So the prefixes got filled here. It's unfortunate. At some point, you're probably going to want to recraft the body armor to get some attack block in there, right? Kind of low. What are the items? Okay, so you just have a constant 30 chaos res because you're not using any chaos res flask. I think you're at a point where you kind of want to start thinking about transitioning to low life. You got pulled in, Axel? That's hilarious. Oh my god. Whoa. 9 div jewels selling. Let's go. Can I invite him fast enough? Did he get someone else? Okay, so yeah, you probably want to start considering low life. You could also save points to go low life by taking this off and putting the blue nightmare here. Thanks for the follow, City Boy Games. I have in the deep dive it goes over how to do that, right? Are you following the YouTube updates? This tech will help you get over here. If possible. Okay, this tech is also going to give you a ton of lightning res, which means you can probably drop a piece of gear that doesn't have chaos res, but has other res on it, and just swap res over to lightning res, and then, or swap lightning res over to that res that you lost, and then get some chaos res. Honestly, 30 chaos res, probably manageable with petrified blood, although I would prefer to get that up to like high 50s. Nice gloves, Axel. What is that even for? I thought you were doing Hex Blast Mines. It's crafting for profit. But yeah, I think this is your next step. And also redoing the body armor to get some attack block. Cause I don't know if 50 attack block is good enough for Aegis. You probably want to scale that at some point. But it's good. Overall, this is good. I like what I'm seeing. It looks like it's working pretty good, probably. Let's look at Casper next. All right. Oh, wow. You have a lot of... Dude, you don't even need help. This is really good. I can just tell just looking at this. This is a solid build. I'm probably not going to have much to say. What are you doing? This is very good defenses here. Good armor. Yeah, I don't know. This looks good. What does this have? Nice. Holy shit, you even have a headhunter. Well, there are those gloves that you technically could craft, right? The one that we were looking at earlier on stream. You can just go back in the VOD to look at them. That would be a lot of damage. Do you need the damage though? I mean, good guide to this. I don't know. I don't have a guide on it. It's more expensive to make, that's for sure. I don't know if you want to do that though, right? Because did my night mode go on? God damn it. This is a good amount of damage for mapping. This looks like a really good mapper. The headhunter and everything. I don't know if you want to be... I don't think you want to be taking this to Uber bosses. I think this is good the way it is. I wouldn't worry too much. I don't know. This is very well balanced. If you start trying to like change stuff around to get more damage, you might make it less balanced defensively. I just like what I see here. I'm sure there are ways to min-max. You can just see what other people are doing in the Discord. I don't think there's much to say here, though. This is good. All right, let's go on to flow shift. We've got some pretty good defenses. What do we have over here? The mana regen to mana cost is really tight. That's okay, but you won't be able to take any what's going on here? Give me a second. What is that other thing? Same for Mage Blood? Yeah, Casper, just keep running the Mage Blood. I think what you have is pretty solid. City Boy, I'll look at yours. Relax. There's still some more people I need to go through. I mean, this just looks good. I don't see anything bad over here. And the tree looks good. So I don't really think there's anything screaming out that needs to be changed. What is your skills? Who am I looking at right now? I forget. I'm looking at flow shift. I'm gonna put haste. Okay, we're at like 118. This is 118. So if you do this right here, and you put it on Natural Instinct here, you put a Militant Faith over here that has minus mana cost on it, you're going to get a lot of devotion from this. This is actually going to give you move speed as well. And this is going to reduce your mana cost by quite a bit because of all the devotion. That when you do tech like this, you can probably fit in a Divine Blessing with haste on it. In fact, I should probably just make an update video on YouTube for like next steps that includes this. All right. And if you look at my Trickster, because I'm probably going to put a Trickster video before I put out a video on this. It's going to be the same thing. The only difference is I'll just show you my trickster. I'm doing the exact same tech. So you can see you can see like exactly what it is. Is it this? Right? So a natural instinct, everything in this middle part is giving devotion. This gives you 1% reduced mana cost per 10 devotion. I have 170 devotion. So when you reduce the cost of stuff by enough, then you can start doing where is it? Where's Divine Blessing? Zealotry, Divergent, Divine Blessing, Inspiration, Divergent. You just put all these three, but obviously you'd use Haste instead. And this also works up here. So since you're Inquisitor, you just be coming from this angle instead of coming from this angle. So you can grab this POB in the latest Spark, just like the crit guide for Trickster, but I didn't put out a video yet going over this. It's just like a amended link in the description. So that's if you want more speed, you can do that. Applies to anybody watching. Let's go to Potato 404. Okay, now we're looking at a Trickster. Okay, this is fun. Is this a Trickster? Yeah, it's Trickster. All right. So how's this build feeling, Potato? I'm guessing you want more damage? Are you here or do you have an ad? I mean, if you have an ad, you can just rewatch the VOD. So what's going on? So you're doing this tattoo tech? I do like this. I'm not doing it myself, but it's pretty good. What's the issues here? Oh, you have a mage blood? What? How's your damage so low? We're pretty tight on gem slots. I wouldn't put if you want a portal, put it on your gem swap. I'll just put it in that guild stash, Axel. It's in that guild stash. You feel like you're not tanky? Oh, you have 0 fizz damage reduction. Well, you clearly have money because you have a mage blood, right? So I would buy the grand spectrums. Get the endurance charge one. Get the power charge one. And the frenzy charge one is expensive, so an alternative way would be getting frenzy charge right here. Or you could get the frenzy charge one. You could also well, you could consider like a granite flask. You need some sort of fizz damage reduction though. I have 12%. It's just from the endurance charges, but I also have fizz taken as. which is another way to do it. Like on the helmet, you saw me earlier today crafting Fizz taking its chaos. I don't know if these spark gloves are good for Trickster or not. Maybe. I feel like your damage is super low. You should just watch my deep dive. I don't know why this. Your gear is so much more expensive than mine, yet you have no damage. Why is it set to Ubers? Okay, you have the same damage as me then. That's good. That's a relief. Yeah, I guess you just need some Fizz damage reduction. Also, wait, if your issue is you feel squishy, here you should get the marked enemies never deal critical strikes. That's what I'm taking. That really helps me in my simulacrums. Are you able to do a sim up to 30 without dying? This helps a lot. The marked enemies cannot deal critical strikes, and also the endurance charges. It's a good way to benchmark your character. Well, obviously you're gonna need to take some stuff off for this. What are your... That looks fine. I don't know what you're gonna... I guess you're gonna take off skill effect here. It's 1 point. Also, you can change these to global defense. These plus 10 int. Global defense is gonna be slightly better. Okay, here's another point. There's 2 points. Do you really need this here? With the mage blood, I don't think you need that. There's 3 points. So that 3 points gets you out here. And I don't know how you get this mastery, but you can either level up once or, I don't know, temporarily take this off. That works too, right? You're gonna get more levels eventually. You can put that back on later. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't have a way to fit this in because I'm really tight on dual sockets. You could maybe take off more points to get a dual socket down here, but if you do want that endurance charge, you're going to need 3 dual sockets. So you're either taking off rare jewels or you're, I don't know. You're losing a lot of damage if you're taking this stuff off. I'm not sure. You can figure that out though. Just the fizz damage reduction coupled with this will tank you up a lot. Everything else looks fine. The evasion, or the energy shield's a little bit low. I'm at like 7,000. You're at 5,400, but I mean, it is what it is. Are you ailment immune actually? You're not. There's no ailment. That actually might be why you're squishy as well. You don't have ailment immunity. If you look at my build, I'm prioritizing ailment immunity. So your damage might actually not be that good because you're putting a lot of these things that you really can't be using because you need to have another dual socket for ailment avoidance. And then I fix the rest with my boots. You get half from the jewel, you get half from the boots. What are your boots? Yeah, you'd have to make different boots. Which you could do. I mean, there's nothing special about these boots. Ailment immunity though. Get ailment immunity. Don't do sim before ailment immunity. You're not gonna make wave 30. Okay, next up is give me back my soul, I believe. Can I make a video? Yeah, I'll probably make one tomorrow. We'll see how much time I have. It's coming out this week though. You'll get a video on how to craft this week. I'll try and do it tomorrow. So this is give me back my soul. Do you need this point here? You don't need this point. Why do you have this point here? Take this point off. This is doing nothing for you. So are you watching the update videos? Because in the update videos, I do swap over to some tattoo tech right here that saves points, which you could do. Your chaos res is too low. You need to beef up that chaos res. You've got a lot of extra Ellie res. Is it from something in here? Oh, it's from this. Well, that's fine. You still have a little bit to work with. You need to get more chaos res before you can go low life. I mean, even if you're not low life, I think you need more chaos res than that. Got a headhunter, that's pretty cool. I don't know, are you having any issues here? This looks fine. This is probably effective point usage with the blue nightmare. It'll let you have more flexibility in your tree. Honored tattoo. What is that? Is that like the... Is this an honored tattoo? I do... Well, if you watch the update, I do this one right here. So yeah, I don't know. Fix your chaos res. Your armor looks fine. Your attack block, a little bit sus. But it's not the end of the world. You have a headhunter. I don't think you're dying. Headhunter just solves defenses, sort of, doesn't it? Looks good. And this is a good build. There's not much to say. Okay, City Boy Games. What are we looking at here? Dude, you didn't calibrate it. Why didn't you calibrate your pop for me? What am I supposed to do with this? Can you calibrate this? I'm just gonna calibrate this, I guess. I'm not gonna give you advice though. You need to learn how to, yeah, you need to configure it. Like, how am I supposed to evaluate this if it's not configured? You just fix that, please. But just like briefly looking at this, it looks fine. This is sort of like weird pathing here. It's okay. Like just briefly looking at this, I don't know, your armor is okay. Your attack block is really bad. Your res is nice. Like, why is your lightning res? Is your lightning res really undercapped here? I'm gonna assume you have a Lyra. It's undercapped by 1. God, no, there's not too much for me to say if this isn't configured. It's okay. This is a good node. This is a okay node. Never thought about clicking. Yeah, I would click the flask on Spark. Some builds, maybe you don't click them, but on Spark, I think you're killing stuff fast enough to click them. Like, I don't know. You ideally want to get rid of these things and then get some decks on your gear and then convert some cold res to lightning res. Oops. I don't know. It's hard to do anything with this. Let's go on to T-Jaku. So this is configured properly. We're fully res capped. We have pretty good spell block and block chance, but keep in mind the closer you get to 75, the more impactful every point becomes. So when you're min-maxing, you really do want to try and get these as high as possible. I can see you're not prioritizing the body armor for spell block and attack block. I would prioritize the body armor for it. So what I would do here is I would do suffixes can't be changed. Just craft that on there and then hit it with a veiled chaos. And then you want to block something. And then you want to unveil preferably attack block because your attack block's lower. If not, unveil spell block. And then you want to craft the other one on there. This costs 2 divine orbs for the suffixes can't be changed, and then a veiled chaos orb is pretty cheap. It's gonna help you a lot. Just try and scale these up. You don't have to hit 75 with both, but just keep in mind every point closer to 75 is more powerful than the previous one. So you really do want to try and hit 75 if it's not too hard. The armor's okay. Energy shield's a little bit low for an Aegis build. I don't know. Is there a way for you to get energy shield on something? This low, is 305 a low roll? I don't know. Try and get a little bit more energy shield, like 1,000 or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit higher. Even getting a high roll on the Aegis probably isn't going to be enough, but you have a lot of points left. This does help. You could grab this. Now you're up to 800. If you get a higher roll Aegis, it's probably like 900 something else. It'll feel better. I don't like the spell damage leached as energy shield very much. It's okay. Cast speed's good. Armor is good. Crit strike is good. I mean, I would just drop the gold flask for bottled faith. I think magic finding is kind of a meme. This build would be way stronger with a bottled faith. Your crit capped and it's a fair bit more damage. It's not bad though. I mean, your build is functional just as is, clearly. That's just a little bit of stuff I'd do. All right, yo, Matt, I'll look at yours in a second. Let me trade this guy. I don't think you should go melding T-Jack unless you have like a Mage Blood or something. It's too hard to fit the res in for that. What are we looking at here? 1.8 mil. Wait. That's a with Petra. Why is this not doing anything? Oh, it is. Your damage is kind of low. What's going on here? What are your links? Okay, I mean, at a certain point, you need to drop increased critical strikes. It's not really a great link. It's a good link in the early game just to get to crit cap fast. Well, these gems, did you just swap to this? These gems aren't even leveled. Like, look, even if you drop increased critical strikes, you're still at 95% crit chance because you're just so overcapped, which is a good thing, which means you can just drop that right away and you still have enough crit to keep playing just fine. You don't need to change anything else. Increased critical damage. I don't remember what your damage was before, but this is like huge. This is humongous. This is a humongous damage increase. PogChamp. Yes, you can say PogChamp. Okay, so increased critical strikes, increased critical damage is going to be like a night and day difference in your damage. Had one off him, perfect. This looks good. Even like just that swap alone looks really good. I can tell you're just recently starting this character. I assume because, or maybe you just did you just flip your gems? Okay, well this is already really solid. So just make that change, keep playing, and feel free to like link this in the Discord if you need help again later. But like just looking at this, you did a really good job of just building the character from scratch. I don't know. I don't see anything weird other than that. I think it should be fine. The mana costs is not working right now though. Why is your mana regen so low? What is your body armor? No, this is good. I think this would feel better if you crafted on spell block, to be honest. Where's rune? Rune hide. Just like 280,000 HP. 300. I don't know. Your spell block is higher now. These are kind of low right now. This league, I am doing tech here to get a lot of spell block around here. But what you're doing is also fine. You don't need to switch off of this. This is good. Wait, I feel like I already looked at this. Is this your POB? This is the same thing as the City Boy guy. Is it? Or no, wait, what? I swear I looked at a POB that had these two exact same things. Maybe it's just coincidence? Swap the set? Am I looking at my own tree right now? I thought I'm looking at Yomada's right now. Wait, I'm looking at your build right? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening right now. What is going? I don't know what's happening. I'm looking at the wrong POB. I am looking at Yomada's. Okay. This is your POB. No. We're good. We're good. It's just this is like deja vu. This I've seen this jewel on somebody else's. Oh. So you are gonna want to do the Tuatara tattoos at some point. I mean, this is like real min-maxing. I think you just want to keep leveling and just keep leveling up your gear and stuff. But this is a way to... You don't need to use the skill point to balance it, right? Like just do 3 Tuatara tattoos. Maybe even 4. And the advantage of you're getting free stats. You're transforming your int to strength, which is good, but you're also getting more dex. So you need to hit like 155 dex, and this just gave you like 4, 8, 12. This just gave you 16 dex here. But I don't know. For like a first couple days, there's really not much to say because you're gonna have lots to improve, and you're clearly good at you know, following along yourself. So I think you're on the right track here. I don't see you having issues, but feel free to drop by the Discord if you have any. It looks good. Torchlight is fun. Really? You're having fun playing that? I haven't tried it. Looks alright. Alright. Can we have 1 honor tattoo? I believe so. Yeah, I swapped characters at one point. T-Jack. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'll be right back.